Everybody, I am Maria and I am the admin of the Money Making Esthetician Facebook group. And today I'm joined with Heather and Maxine, and I am so excited to have these two amazing ladies. They both have had extremely successful careers, and they're here to share all their education and knowledge that they've learned. And thank you so much, you guys, for doing this with us today.
Of course, I will do anything with you guys. You guys are awesome.
So let's start a little bit with introductions. Heather, if you want to go ahead and go first and tell us about yourself, and then Maxine, let's go ahead.
Okay, so I started out in the industry when I was 18, I think, so 31 years now in the industry. A couple years ago, I sold my business, which had been ranked as number one in the greater Philadelphia region for almost a decade. I had 27 employees and burned out bad. And in my burnout, trying to learn how to self-heal, there was a lot of tragedy, like most of us experience. I discovered coaching and therapeutic coaching and energy work in a different way than I'd ever approached it before. And it completely changed my life and it changed the way I wanted to approach everything that I did. And long story, I won't get into it, but being banned from social media, it ended up having me pivot. And I realized how much I missed being in the industry and that I wasn't burned out from the industry. I was burned out at that point of working with 27 people back then. And in opening my new brick and mortar business here in Southwest Florida, it was so easy for me to open the business, but I didn't know what the new trends were in skincare. So I joined this group looking for feedback of like, what are the hottest products? What's the latest technology? What scheduling platform do we use? And in it, I kept seeing these questions about like, I don't know how to retain my clients. I'm not selling any retail. How do you get people in your door? And I was like, the easy part for me. So then Elite Spa Pro Academy was born, where I wanted to start to share all the mistakes that I made so you guys could save your time not doing it and also learn from each other. So that's my abbreviated version of the story. And I'm just so honored to be here with Maxine as well. And Maria is just, she's just such an angel for all of us. So excited to support you and answer any questions you guys have.
Yeah, I love that, Heather. And you are an angel for sure, Maria. And truth be told, Heather and I got to have a little powwow together and meet one another. And she's just amazing. And I love her story. And we found that we shared very similar paths because I too have been in the industry a long time and also had a spa with 19 employees and also downsized and sold and then found my passion. And the other side, I call it the dark side, when you become like a rep for a skincare, professional skincare line and director of sales. And I just kept seeing this like repeated pattern of women and entrepreneurs needing help with leadership and marketing, like how do we get clients, how do we get clients, client acquisition, and just the business side. And and so that's my love of wanting to kind of share my gifts as far as teaching the leadership, business, and marketing aspect is how the Esthetician Business Academy was birthed, and we are actually celebrating 10 years this year. So we have been helping estheticians with client acquisition, perfecting their business, and just overall just helping estheticians feel more confident in what they do because the back end of the business is always like the dark cloud, and it doesn't have to be, so I realized I could teach almost anything and probably hands-on and all of that, but really my true passion was the leadership, business, and marketing aspect. And so I'm just very excited to share this platform with Heather because we do share very similar um, viewpoints on things. And so it was just wonderful to connect with her. And we're thrilled to do this for you. So we really want you to be brave and really ask us anything. And if you're watching the recording later, you can type it in the comments. We're going to be paying attention. We're going to watch you. We're going to watch what you're saying. We want you to feel heard and seen. And we really want to support you as 2025 begins. So let's go for it. What do
Yeah,
we have so
yeah.
far, Maria?
I second that of like it's really so valuable for you to be vulnerable because someone else out there, if not dozens of other people that will see this, will have the same question, concern, or you might even be asking something that helps them get out of a stuck area they've been in. So you might be surprised that you're actually more advanced than others. So everybody is where they're supposed to be and everyone can learn from one another. So please feel free to ask away anything. What challenges are you having? What ambitions do you have? What goal are you not sure? What steps to put in place to achieve? Yeah, anything at all.
So this session is really about you guys. So I see Jessica, Rita, Tara, and Terry, you're correct? In the group, and this session was really designed for you guys. So I really hope you guys came prepared for your questions. I also have some questions that were put into the group when we initially made this chat. But again, I really hope that this group has become a safe space so that you guys are able to really come forward and ask those questions so that we can get to the next hurdle, if that makes sense. And then again, like Heather had mentioned, your question can help somebody else. So I truly believe if one person has that question, many of us has that question. So
Yeah.
whoever wants to go first, please go ahead and turn your mics on and let's see how we can help you really make this year super successful.
This year and beyond, right? Because once you overcome one area, it can unlock everything and things that you didn't even consider could happen for your business. Yeah.
Jessica, do you have any questions?
I don't know about you, Maxine, but this is a great opportunity for you guys to get some like private coaching on the spot because people are paying good money for this too, right?
They are, and that's the beauty of, giving, and that's the beauty of like the first question that pops into your mind. I really want you to go for it because, I know that just the conversations that have been in the group about competition, about saturation, about the economy. I mean, if you have something outside of that, that's fine too. Heather and I can answer. But it is true. A lot of people pay a lot of money to have sessions with us. So this is your turn and your time and an opportunity for you to get your questions answered. And there's no stupid question. There is no stupid question.
I see Jessica. And
Hi guys. Okay, can you see? Oh no, my video stopped. Sorry.
okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna talk then because just so I'm not holding up anybody else. Um, I have been an esthetician for 17 years and I am face reality certified, just got Wish certified, MBK certified, and I want to talk about niching down because I've been so scared to just niche down to acne only. But I've been thinking about doing it for probably 5 years, maybe longer. And I feel like this is the year that I should do it because as much as I love my age management clients, I'm tired of trying to bring in like the latest and greatest equipment, which I don't. I don't waste my money on equipment, like much equipment. I use my hands mostly, but those of us that work with acne, it's hard. But they are so happy and thrilled when it works for them. And again, I just feel like it might be the year to do it. But I say that every year for the past few years and don't do it. So I don't know. Can we talk about more about niching? Oh, sorry. Can we just talk about like niching down and biting the bullet and just doing it?
Yeah, I love that topic. Maxine, I'd love for you to take it away and then I can fill in any gaps or share additional
All right,
perspective.
we'll alternate. We'll take turns going for. I love that. Jessica, great question, and thank you for being so vulnerable and just letting the audience and people in the group, it is a safe space, know that how scary it is niching because it can be, right? So we've built our business and I have a couple of philosophies there. First of all, you have certifications and some great stuff. So you're capable, right? You have the ability, you're capable, you know what you're doing, you're an expert. So definitely celebrate that and celebrate those wins. Okay, that's really important. We don't celebrate wins enough. And in our coaching platforms, we talk a lot about shedding away the 80%. And that 80% could be your age management clients, right? And it's not that we're not grateful for what got us here today, because we're ultimately grateful for all the clients that love you and believed in you and got you where you are today. And we have a hard time letting go of those clients because our next leap, your next leap as an acne expert, is going to require you letting go and you being okay with that. And that's the hardest part because we want to cling on, we want to hang on to what's comfortable and what's safe, right? And so, but what's going to happen is once you let go of that 80%, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, it goes, okay, you just made room for your ideal client of who you want to focus on. And now you can put all of your marketing efforts, all of your attention, you're not scattered all over the place into that 20%, which is your acne, right? So just keep working on refining that acne program and let your clients be your gauge. You're really listening to them and so on and so forth. But it will blossom as soon as you let go of that 80%, I promise. And I want to hear how you're doing and how you're progressing um, as you move along. So what do you have to add to that, Heather?
Yeah, you're so right. I mean, the universe wants to see your commitment and it will test your commitment over and over and over again. So let's say you say, that's it, I'm committed to acne. Don't be surprised if there comes a little scary period where you're like, this might have been the wrong choice. The universe is just testing you to see, are you serious? But the thing that I learned and was the most terrified with niching down was when I first became a coach. And it wasn't in this industry, it was just coaching, therapeutic coaching. And I worked with people with anxiety and trauma and all this. And it was like, no, that's still too general. And it was like, yeah, but I don't really know who I want to say I work with yet. And it was really terrifying. But the ironic thing was when I honed it down and my kind of final niche in coaching was highly sensitive solopreneurs that are in service-based businesses. Once I did that, I had more people reaching out to me for coaching that were not in that niche. So you
Mhm.
also will need to choose that. If you're willing and committed to niche down, do you still want to see other clients? Because you will still have that opportunity. Your messaging just might not be to them, right? You might not be marketing yourself to everyone anymore. You might just be marketing to acne, but you might still have the opportunity to see everybody. So that's the second layer choice, I think, of like, are you niching and saying that's it, doors closed for age management, only acne, or are you still doing both? So a couple concepts I threw out there, I'd love to hear, just so that we know that we're answering every question that you would have in regard to it. What have you taken away from both of what Maxine and I have shared so far?
I just want, I guess I just need a little bit of validation because the stars kind of have been aligning lately with me just doing acne only. I have I have a private label, but it's also for age management. I just had a friend reach out to me wanting me to create like a little like come teach teenagers for her about like skincare, and I've been wanting to do that, like put together like a very short, concise program. Um, and so that just gave, I've been thinking about that forever, and that just kind of gave me the push. And I just started on that yesterday. And I have people, I have a very, very great group of esthetician friends that I meet with every couple months here. And oh, hi, David. And I can pass my age management clients on to them. And I am serving my age management clients and my acne clients, but I just want to focus on acne. I just feel like that's the way to go. And I need to, like kind of Maxine said, just kind of be okay with letting them go, especially because I have some really wonderful women who I can send them to. So,
Absolutely. That is amazing that you have that collaboration, And, as far as the question that we both get, Heather and I both get, about, what should I specialize in that's going to, uphold in any economy? Acne is it.
mhm.
Acne is one of them.
Yeah,
Acne is the strong one because it's not going away. Stress isn't getting any better. Our diet isn't getting any better. You're learning all of that in all the programs that you took. You're totally equipped. It's just taking the leap. But we're more fearful of loss than we are because you can't see the future. And we
right.
want to, and that's our problem, and, as entrepreneurs, you've leapt before. So
Yeah.
just go back and recognize where you leapt before. And you took that leap and you were just like zeroed in and you were dialed in and you were like, it didn't matter what was thrown your way. And you were just going to stay focused. And that's what you do with the 80%. Maybe you let it go in chunks so it doesn't
Mhm.
impact your bottom line like
Okay.
severely, right? So we want to do it smart, but you're like, okay, by December or you call the date by this date, I will no longer be serving, I will only be serving acne clients. And it's going to be so empowering for you because you've leapt before and you can do it again.
I did that when just not even a year ago, when I solely left Face Reality. I'd announced to everyone for like 6 months. I'm not going to
Right.
be using them anymore. Not using them anymore. Um, yeah. And so, and yes, I lost clients, but I knew I would, and it's fine. I gained more clients, and I have to, and that's one thing that I have to remember. I did that. I took that leap, and it was fine. And I do worry about my acne clients kind of cycling in and out. They come and go. They will stay on your product line for quite a while or forever. Um, but I also have to just kind of get past that fear and just know that others will come in. And so, yeah.
Oh,
Is
the
that
first step. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You go ahead. You go, Heather.
Um, two things I was just going to mention. That statement sounded like an idea that isn't necessarily doesn't have to be true. To me, we have clients when they see a difference in their skin, why would they give up getting facials, right? We are the expert that help them clear their skin. So you can still maintain those acne clients as, continuation for clear skin and to keep them on that regular basis. So you could have programs for them even after they're clear. Um, so I think that yes, they will cycle like clients do, but I don't know that it would be as much as it would be worth being concerned over.
It's
Um,
more my teen clients that do. Like my 20 and above don't. It's more like my teen clients do. But yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
you're
that
right.
I
Yeah.
just have one other thing before Maxine jumps back in. I would love for you to just it after this at some point. You're saying like needing validation. It's so nice when we get validation. It's so nice, but it's also great when we have it for ourselves too.
Mm.
And I thought of a little process where if you could just sit for like 10 or 15 minutes sometime when you're quiet, and imagine if you don't niche down and let yourself play out what your days are like, what your weeks are like, how you'll feel at the end of the year if you don't niche down. And then get up, do something, break that space, and then sit down and allow yourself to experience what will it be like when you do niche down and you're living and embodying that success of doing it. So just let yourself feel what both feels like. I'm not saying which one will feel better, but you
Right.
will intrinsically know and hopefully be able to have your own validation that's just like, then that's it. So yeah, that was just a process that I thought could help you feel that decision.
I do. I know I need to sit with it more like that. I've done a lot of thinking about it, but I need to kind of sit with it and kind of meditate on it and write a little bit. So, yeah. So that sounds great. I appreciate that.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. And I love that, Heather. And I'm so glad you jumped in first because I was going to be like, but you've been thinking about it for 5 years, Jessica.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So there's that too, right? So, and thank you for that honesty because that's what I love helping people see. It's like, okay, well, you have thought about it for 5 years. So it is taking that leap that is scary and really the first thing that is needed in that. We always want what do we want? We want the
Like,
confidence, like this is going to succeed, right? But really, what comes first is your commitment to the decision. You
Yes.
commit to the decision, you develop the courage, right, to start slicing that 80%. All of a sudden, you're becoming more capable because you're practicing way more acne and recommending more of the home care. And now, within 6 months, you're going to be like, I'm confident. Why did I wait 5 years? What was my problem?
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
True.
So that was I just wanted to help you um like give yourself permission to just take the leap.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Thank you.
Of
Thank you. Thank
course.
you. Well,
the
I
best
adore
thing,
both of you. So
one of the best things about being an entrepreneur is it's not permanent either.
yes, yeah. And
Like,
I have to remember that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're not putting, Acne Specialist concrete boots on. You're just saying, hey, this is my focus for now. And I had a business coach once that would, when I had to make decisions, she would always say, which decision could you live with for the next 2 years if you could do nothing else but that? And that was pretty helpful to
Hmm.
to decide. Like sometimes it would be like I was going for the safest thing, but I didn't want to do that for 2 years. And then it would be like, oh no, this thing lights me up. And you know what? In 2 years, you could change your mind. So,
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
mhm.
I love that. And David said, I'm here to help. David is also very helpful.
He
So
is. So
yeah.
as you take that leap, you're not alone.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And I think that's like the big thing that, that we struggle with as entrepreneurs is that we think that we have to do it all alone. It's like society. I was just curating a blog that's going to, or email that's going to go out tomorrow to my subscribers just about that. Like,
Mm,
we're afraid to ask for help because we think we need to work 80 hours a week and we have to do the hard work because it's cheating if we ask for help,
yeah.
whether it's a coach or, David or even this, like just being brave to come on and ask for help like this. Like I am like on the seesaw right now. And it's just like you have people in your corner, Jessica. So lean into them and get all the help to empower you to go after this dream of being the acne expert that you want to be.
Thank you. And real quick, and I'll wrap it up for someone else. But on that note, I want to tell everyone on here the best thing I did for myself was to find a group of estheticians that, like I said in the beginning, I meet with these women. It used to be once a month, and now it's like every couple months. But we make sure that we meet. There's always between like 6 to 8 of us that come together and meet. And it has been one of the best things I've ever done just to have that community and to just get ideas from each other and lean on each other. Like they're some of my best friends. And we've been doing this for years. And I tell women, reach out to your local esthetician Facebook group and ask if anyone wants to meet up and just do it because it helps because it can be such a lonely, um, it can be lonely in the aesthetics world, especially if you're just solo. So I recommend everyone do that this year, put together a group.
Yeah.
Great
And
advice.
Yeah.
Maxine, do you have like pods and stuff in your coaching as well, or ways that your members and or students or whatever that they can connect with each other too?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's what it's
I
all
find that
about.
so valuable because
Mhm.
they're like-minded. If they're in
Yeah.
your training or if they're in my training, they have the ambition, the motivation, and they're able to really percolate in all the information they're learning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Thanks,
Thanks, you guys.
Thanks for being in the hot seat,
You are
Jessica.
welcome. I appreciate it.
All right, keep us posted.
I will.
We're watching. Accountability is key.
And
Yay,
initially, I did
that was
also,
fun. Who else
yeah,
wants to
so
go in the
fun.
hot seat?
I
See,
saw
I wasn't so scary.
I saw that Tara had unmuted initially too. I wonder if she would like to. Tara?
Hi.
Hey.
No, that was so insightful what you guys were saying. I guess I'm at the very, very beginning. I have been licensed for 3 years, so not very long. Out the gate from school, I started a business plan. I applied for a loan, and I was doing coaching, and I was really, really motivated. And then things just didn't end up panning through, and I ended up working at the spot that I'm at now. And I'm really happy there. I love all my clients, but it's always just in the back of my brain, this business plan that I have. And especially right when you said, like, can you picture yourself doing what you're doing now for the next 2 years? And I'm like, my immediate answer in my brain is like, no, I absolutely can't. Um,
Hmm.
I guess my question is like, how do I get over the fear and almost like the imposter syndrome of starting, like even just starting?
Maxine and I actually talked about this. Like, thank you so much for the question. It brings up so many topics, actually. That's what I was going to say. Maxine and I spoke about how sometimes being an employee at a spot is what's best for someone. I'm not saying that's the case for you, but sometimes people feel like that's not a true measure of success. And it could be. So there's one idea that can be explored.
Well, and I feel like I definitely needed that. Like as soon as I started there, I was like, this is exactly what I needed and where I needed to be. And I needed to just get my hands on faces and like learn how to speak to clients and all of those good like skills that you need to learn and have really solid before you start.
Yeah.
Um, so I am very grateful for the opportunity, and I definitely saw the benefit of it and felt the benefit of, still feel to this day the benefit of it. So
So questions are what's leading you to feel like that you still want to be solo, that you don't feel like you would want to stay there?
um well, my mom actually, she is a small business owner, and I watched her open and like take that big risk, and it's so inspiring to me. And so she's like one of my biggest role models and one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to do it 3 years ago. And so she was like one of my biggest driving forces, like watching her take that big leap and be so successful. And like she's been open for 5 years and she's doing amazing stuff. And so, and like just to see estheticians online as well, like, and yeah.
Okay. What does it feel like for you if you imagine yourself taking that leap, going back out solo? What does it feel like for you? Like what's the big why of why that would feel valuable?
Um, I think the first word that came to my mind is freedom. Freedom to customize and do every, because right now I'm at a corporate spa, I'm at Hand and Stone, and so it's very rigid, it's very by the book kind of thing, but to have that creativity and to be able to have everything be my own and be what I want it to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. That's my driving force with being solo. No one can tell me how I'm supposed to fit in a box. This doesn't work for Heather,
Exactly.
so I
Yes.
totally get it.
Yes.
So can you see that being your personality throughout your life? Like when you were a kid, were you the one that like would make the rules for the game or kind of get your
Yes.
together?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so then that feels like that aligns with the personality. So then it's go back now as we're talking about this because I feel like there was like a definite like excitement and this like really heartfelt thing when you talked about your mom being
Yeah.
um someone that really is an inspiration and that you want that freedom. So now tell me again, and this isn't because I'm not remembering. I want you to tell us again, what is your question?
How do I get over the fear of starting?
Okay. Does it have the same level of ooh in it
No.
when you just asked now? Right.
No.
Okay. So I think a lot of it is tuning into what you already know,
Yeah.
tuning into what you already know, and also realistically contemplating the challenges that will come.
Right.
It sounds like your mom will be a great resource and any other small business. It might not be the same business, but small businesses,
Right.
they
Right.
have the same challenges. For me, one of the number one pieces of suggestion and loving advice that I give to anybody that's thinking about opening a business is this might be a contraindication or something,
Yeah.
but most people are like, what do I need to do to get the business started? My suggestion is more of what do I need to do to work on my limitations and patterns that I've
Mhm.
seen reoccur over life, because entrepreneurship brings up every doubt, every limiting
Yeah.
belief, every fear of showing up, fear of success, fear of failure,
Yeah.
fear of abandonment, blah, blah, all of them. So it's that inner work is where I would suggest that's part of a starting point, is
Yeah.
just doing a lot of inner work, inner clearing, so that that fear all of a sudden just becomes logical concerns.
Yeah.
Confidence could start to grow just from your own natural resourcefulness.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my little mindset and energetic piece. And I love to hear how Maxine will also help with this.
Oh, that was unbelievable advice and insight. I just love how intuitive you are, Heather, and that's why we like totally clicked, and I just love that. And Tara, okay, how cool is your mom?
She's
You know,
awesome.
how cool is your mom? And how unbelievable for you to have a role model. Not a lot of people have that amazing role model. Does she have a spa also? Is it in the same industry?
No, different industry. So she was working at a school for 15 years. And then one of her students, well, she quit, like with no money right before COVID started. And she brought that whole business through COVID. So even to do that and then to still be successful today, it's so awesome. Like I get so emotional thinking about it. I'm so proud of my mommy.
Oh, it is so beautiful to have that inspiration. I too have entrepreneurial parents that sold their multi-million dollar business and they're like retired in Florida and just enjoying life. And it's
Mhm.
just beautiful to have those role models and have somebody, we, my question to you is, and I love how Heather has you tapping into how you're feeling, is really asking you what you want. What what do you want? Not because you're watching what other estheticians are doing. And I think this is where we fall into trouble, is we get into what I call the compare and despair. And
Yes.
we're like, oh my God, she opened out of school. What's wrong with me? I'm messed up. I should be there. And then we start this whole comparison thing, this whole like and the thing is that each one of the estheticians in this group that chose to open up, they did for their own reasons. They have their own goals and their own reasons of why, and I heard yours, and it's freedom.
Yeah.
And freedom is usually the number one, you know,
Yeah.
is usually the
Yeah.
number one. It's like, okay, we want to open a business and we're not focused on the money at first. We're focused on, well, I just want to live life on my terms, whatever
Yeah.
that means for me, right?
Yeah.
And so what is it that you want? How do you see yourself living? Uh, what do you want to specialize in? You're in a playground right now, and I know you're in a corporate setting, but what can
Yeah.
you learn and pick up? And there's goodness in where you're working right now. So, pick up, even like recognize what's not working, you
Yeah.
know? And then, if it is truly that you want to go and open your own as an entrepreneur, um, also, you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah.
You have the help that you have people in your corner, Heather and I, whoever, like,
Yeah.
just set up time and hash it out and figure out how you want to build it instead of winging it and saying, I'm just going to build it and they will come, because that doesn't usually work.
Yeah.
I have a quick
No.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tara, what have you tried? Like when you say, I don't even know what to start, what do you want to do? What do you want to specialize in? Do you want to do facials, waxing? Have you started an Instagram? Have you started getting
Yes.
content? What have
So
you
I have
done?
an Instagram, but it leads my clients to Hand and Stone. And at Hand and Stone, I do cryo, dermaplaning, diamond glows, and then I do full body waxing. I have a lot of interest in permanent makeup. I would love to work with a Pro Cell machine. What else? I love waxing. That's kind of like my bread and butter is waxing and facials, but I would love to learn more like advanced modalities and stuff.
I love that you say that because I feel like that's what's so amazing of our industry is like we can do it all, but it
Yeah.
seems very overwhelming because there's so much where we can go.
Yeah.
At least the feeling that I got when I heard you saying all that, and this is probably for me, was I was like, whoa, because like obviously like microneedling is its own beast, permanent makeup
Yeah.
is its own beast. I
Yeah.
also want you to know that like, so for example, permanent makeup, it's gonna take you a while to get good at it, right?
Right. Right.
Microneedling is gonna take you a minute to get good at it. So I guess when you're saying like, what do I do to get started? My question is like, well, what have you done? Like in your Instagram, do you have a Google Doc where you're like, phone number, whatever, or like put out a PDF to start gaining clientele. So you should like start collecting emails. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were to go solo tomorrow, do you think you have a client list?
I have like, it's not that big. I have like a list of 15 that I know they're like my diehards.
This is my question for Maxine and Heather. What do you think she can do to get organized to be able to get started? Like, do you think she should do a Google Doc? What should she put on her Instagram? Should she have a website? Like, what are the steps that she can start taking while she's working for someone to be building up her clientele? And then what should she be like learning to be ready to go solo? So should she put a business plan together? Should she be putting 15% away from every single paycheck?
I would like to actually kind of piggyback or complement what Maxine was saying too with not doing it alone. So there's the positive to wanting that freedom, and then there's the darkness that can come with that. Sometimes we think freedom is when we go out on our own, but that's also the chains that bind you to a business that might not support you, that you feel like you have to support. So there is that dance, and that's why I do feel like everybody is going to hear this from us. Like, don't do it alone.
Yeah.
Don't do it alone. I ended in divorce and a meltdown thinking I could do it alone, right? Like we only see what our subconscious lets us see. And that's to keep us exactly where it's known where we've been. It doesn't want us to go beyond that. So it is so valuable to make sure you're looking at things from all the angles, but also that you're inviting other people to look at it with you, because you are still only going to be able to see it at a certain degree, where you can get yourself to a certain place on your own. And I'm not saying you never could, but the likelihood when you have other eyes on it and other support, seeing it objectively could help you get there faster without some of the heartbreak and grief that other entrepreneurs who have done it alone have experienced. So that's just the one thing of realizing, what does freedom look like, and how does that quest for freedom get you in trouble sometimes? For me, quest for freedom gets me in trouble sometimes because maybe I want to take a week off because I love freedom. Right? So there's the good and bad. So that was something I wanted to just kind of touch on, of how valuable help is, and beyond just these little meetings, like always making sure that people are helping you, and to look at your business plan. So to also answer Maria, like, yeah, starting to establish client lists. Personally, 15's great, not near enough for you to have a business that's supporting you. Not even close. You want 90 to 200 to say, I'm going to feel pretty safe when I open my business, because even the most die-hard fans get weirded out about change. So you just can never count on that. So we need a bigger list. So we need to be getting people's contact information, nurturing them, building relationships, starting to network outside of your business, just starting to network in your community to be known as a skincare expert, not soliciting where they go. That's just one suggestion, right? To have those contacts and start to build your reputation within where you think you would have your business. Feel things out, see what's to be successful for other people, not looking at social media, looking at reviews, looking at things that are real, not the facade that a business wants you to see about them. But they're just a couple ideas. I'm sure more will come up, but I want to hand it over to Maxine again too.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful suggestions. And Tara, yeah, so I would continue to do your groundwork right
Yeah.
now where you're at, and just like listing out like how you would want to see your own business run and things like that. I'm gonna just emphasis on getting the help. I can't stress it enough. When I opened my spa, I had a coach when it wasn't cool. Okay. And I paid $1,500 a month. She's a good friend of mine today. And here's what's so funny. I had it in my head that I only paid her $500 a month when we were at dinner. I swear to God, I was like a block. I had a block. And we were at dinner. She goes, Maxine, it was like 1,500 a month. I go, okay, I think I blocked that out. And so, and it was just like, but I didn't do it alone because I knew that I had 19 employees that were counting on me to, provide work for them. And so right out of the gate, I had somebody in my corner. It's just a blessing for me that she's still a good friend of mine. I agree with Heather. You want to be building that list. I'm not a huge social media fan. Yes, we're on it. We make connections on it and things like that. Google is king. Google is, king. So once you get your space and you get your Google business profile set up, that's going to get a little bit more traction. I know things are going back and forth with TikTok right now, and that should just show you how unstable the social media world can be. It's a third party. If even Facebook got shut down tomorrow, what would we do? We'd all lose our minds first, and then, and we'd be like, what? So building your list and making those connections, because at the end of the day, we're not doing skin, we're in the relationship business.
Yeah.
So definitely keep building that list, talking to that list, nurturing that list, like Heather said, and start saving away. So
Yeah.
you're not in the position to say, "Oh, I can't do an opening order." No, like you're going to be ready. Like you're going to be ready. So that's why I think like the help is needed, because why not learn from people who have done it so that we can spare you the mistakes because
Yeah,
we
the
made a
amount
ton
of
of mistakes.
The amount of money you save by starting right, because so I opened, it was just me. And then slowly and slowly it was like, oh, I'm too busy to handle this. I have to hire someone really quick because there's this weird desperation for success when you're first opening. And so often people think, look, oh, I can't accommodate this. I have to get bigger, then I'll be more successful. And then it's like, oh, I have to get bigger. And then by the time you're a certain size, or if it's just yourself, there have been so many hurry up and quick figure this out that have not been planned out decisions that you get set in the bad habits that are really hard to reverse. And by that
Yeah.
time, you're desperate for help and it's like messy. So as you're saying, like save and save for opening orders, save to be able to do it right, save for having support. That's such a big piece. You could turn from brand new to 100K easy when you have the right roadmap to follow. Or you can go from 0 to minus 100K in debt and bankrupt and close your, suite or spa when we don't. So it's really feeling into yourself. Like Maxine said, what is it that you want? Is it truly what you want? Is it what you're seeing and craving and what you assume other people are feeling? And that's what you're craving. All of that. So much to explore and unpack, and just take what you have right now and store every bit of data and knowledge and information into your pocket that you can take with you, when you're ready.
So there were, this is kind of an off-topic question, but there were some estheticians at my location within the last year that have gone out and went solo. Like maybe 2 or 3 within the last year. And my owner actually went and sued them because they stole clients. And so even if I were to leave and I have those 15 or 90, I'm putting my neck at risk of getting sued if I were to take them. So how do I continue to want to stay there and grow my client base for the owner when they're technically not mine? Do you see what I'm saying? I said
It's
it
a really, yeah, it's a good question. And it's a really touchy one. It's like, what side of the agreement are you on? Because I was the
Right.
business owner. who had
Right.
people
Same.
my agreement, it was written, but my verbal agreement was with them was if my advertising that I've paid for brings a client in, they belong to the spa. If you have a client who recommends someone to you, I will say that you can contact them when you leave because they earned them. It was their reputation that got them. Because I wanted to be realistic, I also left places before and hoped my clients would follow me. So there's the reality of the industry, but then the ethical, respect that we need to have in order to
Right.
have the right
Mhm.
energy that comes into it. My personal opinion is now, I mean, when I'm talking before we had social media, so we were literally putting ads in the newspaper of like, Heather, move to this new place. Now
Yeah.
you have social media, you're going to have all this contact. People will find you in a heartbeat. So
Mhm.
don't seek them out. That's why I'm saying you need 100, 200, 300 people that say they would follow you
Okay.
because not everybody will because of the awkwardness, because probably when you leave the business will offer them incentives to stay. Who can resist a deal, right? And then they might end up liking someone. So you just need to have that extra cushion safety net. And that's where it's building your reputation in the community, not in the business. You as just a person who has an expertise in skincare, not representing yourself or Hand and Stone. Because when the
Correct.
time comes that you open, you already have the reputation. Does that
Mhm.
make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a really good question. And ethically, it happens every day. And every spa owner, is fearful about hiring because they don't want to be burned. So I
Right.
had agreements also with employees. And quite honestly, if you're like, hey, Maxine, I want to work at your spa and I'm bringing 200 clients in, and let's just say you double, like you brought those into my establishment, they're yours. So, but to Heather's point, where we've put the time, sweat, energy into building the business to help fill your books, then it isn't right. And there's like this thing of like, I know people have a choice to go where they want to go. And quite honestly, I've had people leave my spa, and when they call and they're asking for so and so, I would just tell them where they were at. But in the background, we were running unbelievable specials that I knew that the new person going out on their own couldn't afford to do what we were doing, and we would win them back because we were a good establishment. So, do things ethically, and I love building that network on your own and getting your own followers. I love that. And I think that you'll feel good about that when you do go on your own because you didn't pilfer the clients from that owner. You can leave on good terms and it'll feel really good for you too. It's good energy.
Yeah, for sure. I love this. Thank you.
I
These are
know these are good. We're
really
getting down and
fantastic.
dirty. We're
Yeah,
getting some.
really, really great. This is amazing. So who else? Who else can we
Thank you,
support?
Tara. Thank you for jumping in the hot seat.
Yeah, and good luck. And
Thank you
and we're
very
here
much.
for you. We're here for you.
Who else? We have Alicia. We have Misty. Misty, does she want to go in the hot seat? We have who wants to go in the hot seat?
You can even ask questions for a friend.
Yeah, you can pop them
You
in
don't
the
make it
chat
hot
box.
seat. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you see that we're not scary. We're just super loving. Like Heather and I just met and we was just like, hey, we really want to serve. We really want to answer your questions. We want to be honest. We want you to get something out of it. And
I saw that Terry unmuted.
no, Hatsu, just here to listen, hopefully get motivated again. Yeah. All right,
I'll have
Terry. Whoop,
to-
whoop, whoop.
Wow. So I'm so nervous, guys. Like I'm so nervous to even talk about my situation. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm new to the business. I am a little long in the tooth when I decided to go back to school and I just got my esthetician license June of 2023. So, and I'm that person that opened an establishment straight out of school because I did not want to, from working years and years in the industry of just working. I didn't want to have to report to anyone, and I didn't want to. I wanted to do things on my own, and I'm first time entrepreneur. Like, I'm a hot mess over here, right? However, at the same time, I'm super blessed because I came out, opened my establishment. I am on all social media platforms. I try to post. I have Google, I have the Google profile, I have a booking site. I do events out in the community so that people can know that I exist, that I'm here. Um, my funds, that's a different story. I'm sorry, my husband opened the door. The funds are a different story for me. I do have obviously a business account, business bank account, but of course with me starting, I depleted like my credit card, the business credit card that I opened, and I am really struggling with getting people in my door. And I truly, I don't know, maybe it's the neighborhood that I'm in. Um, my space allows me to have events there too. So every once in a while, I may have some events. I'm trying to incorporate Korean skincare to like my clients because I think that's a good seller as far as like your back bar and things like that. Ladies, I am all over the place, and I'm so. Some days I feel like, why did I do it? And my mom, she's no longer here. So I don't have anyone that I can go to and vent to. I mean, my husband, but he's my husband. You know what I mean? Like, my mom is not here. And she's who I would normally talk to, like, just to get some guidance on what I should do and how I should move. And it's some days I'm like, girl, what were you thinking? Why did you put yourself in this situation? But I knew, and it's nothing against Hand and Stone, it's nothing against Massage Envy, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go to those places. And I hear a lot of horror stories when it comes to working for people as spas, where it's kind of like it's micromanaging and things like that. And that's not what I wanted to do. So I jumped, and I took this leap. And there's a lot of days that I feel like I made a huge mistake. Like, I'm working a part-time job because I have to sustain my spine. And I get in my head sometimes and I think about comparing myself to other people, and I'm looking at um, people that I maybe went to school with, and they may have their own solo space as well. And I have to get out of my head that you cannot compare yourself to someone else's journey and their walk. And I get it. I completely get it. I understand, but I'm human. So as a human, that's what, we do things like that as humans. I listen to esthetician podcasts all the time, and I know I could use a coach, but I can't afford a coach. I can't afford it. I need to dive into marketing. I can't afford marketing. Like, there's so many things that I know on paper what it is that I need to do, but right now the finances don't allow it for me to kind of like jump out there. And because what I don't want to do is me putting all of it, meaning finances, into this, and I still have a household to take care of with my husband and son in college and like things like that. So I don't know. I'm so sorry that I'm breaking down like this, but it's just what's going on for me personally right now.
Okay. Couple questions for you, and I'm always anxious to hear what Heather has to say. First of all, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing your heart. Um, I'm sorry for your loss, and just know that you have a family of people that you can lean into, and just thank you for your bravery of sharing what you have so far. Um, so, couple of questions would be, if you don't mind, if you don't mind
Hmm.
sharing, if just like, because we're just in a safe space, um, how bad is what's the debt? How much debt do you have?
Um, well, so for example, when I initially opened up my business account and I applied for a business credit card and they gave me 10,000 like right off the bat, right?
Okay.
And off of that 10,000, I'm like at one point it was like completely maxed. And then
Okay.
I kind of paid it down a little, well, very little. So I'm at like maybe like 8,500 as
Right.
far as credit card debt. And then
Okay.
when I look at my actual bank account and I'm scrambling trying to get people in my door just so I can pay my rent and then pay my utilities to keep everything. Thank God my rent isn't like I'm not being beat over the head with rent, but
Right.
it's still rent. I
Right.
still have to pay it. You know what I mean? But as far as the credit card debt, I'm like 8,500, like right there alone. And then I still have to get supplies. So I'm merging my personal, like I'm using thank God I have good credit, but I'm using my credit cards to finance my spa. And I
Okay.
know I'll never sustain myself doing that. I know that to be a fact, but
Right.
that's something that unfortunately I'm doing at the moment.
Okay. 8,500, is that all you have? Is that
Well, that's as far as credit card debt.
okay?
So, like I said, I'm using, well, let me clarify. That's what the debt is for my business credit card.
Okay.
So I'm dipping into my personal credit
Uh,
cards,
okay.
and it's way more than 8,500.
Okay. All right, let's table that. And thank you for sharing and being so honest, because I just want to find out. I'm going to piece some things together. What, just to kind of give you some reprieve, you know what I mean? So we could start taking the
Mhm,
pressure off. How many
mhm.
clients do you have in your database right now that come to see you regularly?
Um, okay. In my booking site,
Yep.
I have over 75 names of
Okay.
people, but the visits are sporadic. I think I have two that come on a regular, two.
Okay.
And then in between, I'll have people that'll come maybe once every 2 months or something like that. Or it's very sporadic. It's very sporadic. So like today, I I got off of my part-time job. I had to go down to my spa and grab um my supplies because again, I do events in the community. So I had to go down to get my supplies because I have an event tomorrow. And I do it specifically so people will know that I exist and that I'm here and to let people know, okay, well, if you can't make it to me, I can come to you. But I can, how, listen, I'm 53 years old. How long am I going to, and how long will I be able to lug all of these things from my spa to go to, you know, do events? That's very taxing. I mean, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. You know what I mean? So, I don't know.
I'm just
I
celebrating the
don't
fact that you're getting out there, and maybe that's not sustainable and that's okay. But if you can pick up one or two clients from that. But where I was going with your client list,
know.
if you're willing to do the work, this little exercise or just to get a fast cash injection into your accounts right now is to just go through and start calling all those 75 people. Like you have 75 people that you physically touched and loved on, right? You physically
Mhm.
touched them. So call
Mhm.
them up and invite them back in to your spa. So once we start taking action, the universe opens up and you know what? You're going to start getting bookings. So that's my first suggestion because you always get a hit. You always get people that are going to book with you, but it's up to us to be the professional salespeople and call and reach out, just like, even if they haven't been in, you're just going to call them up. Hi, it's Terry. How are you? I haven't seen you in 2 months. Oh my gosh, the last treatment you got was blah, blah, blah. I'd love to see you again. I'm running a special on blah, blah, blah. I have an opening. Do you still like Friday afternoons? Whatever, so just take initiative and the things that can take control of, right? You have 75 people. Let's rock and roll on those 75 people. Okay, that's suggestion number one. You have really good
Mhm.
credit. So those credit cards, if you could get a 0% card somehow, some of them are doing 24 months, 36 months at 0%. Yes, there's a fee to switch over, but guess what?
Mhm.
You can combine that, put it on a 0% so they're not accumulating interest. Cut that
Mhm.
friggin' card up. You're only using it to help you pay down the debt, right? And then just make a
Mhm.
payment. It's just a payment, but that interest is going to start accumulating, and that's where we feel like we're drowning sometimes,
Mhm.
and then, yeah, but I mean, those 75 people, out of those 75 people, who are your VIPs? If it's two, cool. How can we turn two into four?
Mhm.
So we're going to take
Mhm.
those two people and we're going to say, I love you. You're one of my favorites. I love seeing you. Do you have a friend that would love to come and get a treatment from me? What's her
Mhm.
name? What's her number? Can I call her? Can I invite her in? And it's
Mhm.
like it's us taking that initiative, right? You don't have anything
Mhm.
to lose, Terry. You have
Mhm.
nothing to lose. And here's what I want you
Mhm.
to celebrate. I want you to celebrate the fact that you were brave. So you had the commitment and the courage already to open and go off on your own. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's huge. And so those three things, I would love to hear how they work for you. If you can definitely come back and circle back to this event and just be like, hey, we got advice, I did this and I got 5 bookings or whatever, just
Mhm.
so that we could help celebrate those wins and keep that momentum going.
Mhm.
Okay, I've talked long enough. Okay, let's hear what Heather has to her great advice. Go, Heather.
And I'm in Heather's past city. I'm in Philly.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. All right. So, um, my first thing, not in any way to trivialize how you're feeling and the overwhelm that you're feeling, but the debt that it sounds like you're in is pretty average debt for somebody that goes out on their own without having experience and a following. It costs money to build out. It costs money for an opening order. We don't have people just running into our business right away unless we set it up for a while. So not to put down how it feels. I know that feeling. I've lived that feeling. When I had my spa, there was a point where it cost $60,000 a month just to be open. That included payroll. And there were months that we brought in 38,000. Like, what do you do then, right? And so that's part of business, but that's part of it. It's just there's a lot of energetic stuff that I would suggest of just seeing it working, right? Seeing it working. But there's a lot of tactical stuff that I hear that could also be happening. I'm gonna assume,
Mhm.
hopefully I'm wrong, but when you do these events, are you showing up and being really gracious and just doing it and maybe giving cards out?
Absolutely. I give
Okay.
out cards, I give out flyers, I even do some facials and I don't charge. Like I'll do like quick little 15-minute facials just so people can feel the product, and I get so much great feedback from what
Right.
I'm using, but it's, I guess I'm trying to convert it. It's a struggle. Like really, and I know
Yeah.
a lot of people like
Well,
new, and I get it.
there's
They
a
don't. They're not good with they're not good with just trying something new, or a brand that you're just not familiar with. They don't know their name, and but the results all speak for itself. You know what I mean? So it's just trying to convert
yeah,
is a little
but
difficult.
so if I can just share, they're
Mhm.
not actually conversion exercises or processes that you're doing, right? It's a very common way that people network and they put themselves out there. They think like, whoa, I've touched them, I've made contact. If they like me, they will call.
Right.
But we won't. So the invitation has to be there that you're taking their contact information. Here's what I would like to do with you, Sue. Now you got to experience my little mini facial. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I want to follow up with you tomorrow. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I want to hear if there's anything I should note for our next appointment. You need to plant these seeds that she has now become your client. She
Can
is
I
your,
can I say something real quick? And I hear
yeah,
what you're saying. I always, whether it's the events that I do for the 15-minute facials, I follow up with every single person that lays in front of me the
okay,
next day within 24 hours. And I
beautiful.
always ask, and the goal is to, one, make sure that there's no like reaction or anything, allergic reaction or anything, but to genuinely find out how they really like um um the after effect. Right. So that's something that I always do. So I absolutely follow up within 24 hours after I come in contact with a client. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm glad that you shared that. Do you have a pretty standard way that you follow up with them? Like, do you have like a script of something that you would say to them that you could pretend I'm one of those people so I could hear it?
You know what? I don't, it's not a script that I follow, but it's kind of the same. It's not really a script, but I kind of say the same
Yeah.
thing.
Are you open to pretending I'm one
Mhm.
of them?
Sure.
Okay. So what would that be like?
Okay. Hi, Heather. This is Terry with Skim Romance. How are you?
Hi, Terry, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Listen, Heather, I'm not going to keep you. I just wanted to call and follow up with you just to, one, see how your skin's doing after yesterday's treatment. How's everything with your skin?
It's good. It's good. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything, do you have any questions for me in reference to what we used, or do you feel like you didn't get the result that you thought you should have gotten? Is there anything that you have any questions for me?
No, I guess I didn't really know what to expect, so it was just really nice. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. And then okay, so if someone says that, um sometimes, now this is going to sound real crazy. I've been in sales since 2006, right? But yet I've always had a problem with asking for the sale. When you're in sales, you have to ask for the sale, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I will say, well, can you see yourself purchasing the products that we used yesterday?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Um, Now I know when I was with you yesterday, because I always show a mirror, right? So once I'm done, I always give them a mirror so they can see, and I always get the oohs and the eyes, right? So I'm
Mhm.
saying to you, I'm just saying that as a sidebar. So now I'm saying to you, okay, so um well, you sound really excited about the facial that I did yesterday, and you already explained to me that you didn't have a good moisturizer. So, is this a moisturizer that you can see yourself using? Did it give you the hydration that you felt you needed?
Yeah, it did. How much is it?
So it's $60. Now,
there's two ways that you can purchase. I can either give you, as a matter of fact, the card that I gave you yesterday, there's a QR code on there. You can go directly to the website to order, or I actually have it at the spa as well. You can get it from my spa as well. So whatever's more convenient for you, we can absolutely do it.
All right, well, let me get back to you and we'll figure out, what I'll do. Okay.
Okay. And I know you're not supposed to stop there, but
Right, right.
I'm not that pushy person. I'm really not.
Honestly, actually, Terry, I would encourage you to stop there. I'm also not pushy. So I love your openness to this. I want to tell you that you have so much potential to get out of this situation that you feel that you're in because you're so willing to do this. I don't know that I would have done this, to be honest. So
Okay.
first, I want to give you that credit, right? And I'm pretty coachable. What I'm going to encourage you to do is if I can come back, I know we're like going over time, but this is too juicy to stop. If I can, now we can switch gears.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the example of what I would do, and I would love for you to go back and listen to this. And then if we
Okay.
still have time, if Maxine wants to also, we can see different perspectives of how we would handle it.
Okay.
So, hey Terry, it's Heather. Do you remember me from yesterday?
Yes, Heather, how are you?
I'm doing great. I've been so excited to connect with you again. I really loved spending time with you yesterday, and I wanted to hear how your skin responded to our session.
It was pretty good. Pretty good.
That doesn't sound like the amazement I want to hear. What made it just pretty good?
I think maybe I don't know, maybe because it's something that I'm not really used to. So I feel like it may be too many steps for me. You
Too many steps.
so wait a minute. So sidebar. This is Korean skincare we're talking about. So there's a lot of steps to it, right? Okay, so that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. But anyway, I
Okay.
think there might be too many steps for me, and I just don't have the time for that.
Yeah. How long do you imagine those steps would take for you?
Um, well, I know we spoke yesterday, you mentioned that it should take no more than like 10, maybe 15 minutes tops. But I don't know. When it's time for me to get up and go to work, I have to get up and go. So maybe I only have time for just wash it. They always say washing my face and then maybe a moisturizer, but that's it.
Okay. And that makes sense. And this is so interesting. Something that I found over the years is if you knew a certain food would help you lose 10 pounds if you ate it every day, wouldn't you eat it?
Absolutely.
Right. Most people don't want to commit to a 10-minute skincare routine because they've never gotten the results that felt like it was worth it. So I find if we find something that's worth it, it's enjoyable to do. But what if we did just start you out with that cleanser and moisturizer so you can see how complementary it is to your skin and then see if you want to add to it?
Okay. I think we can do that.
What if, and here's another option. So let's figure that out. These are the two that I'm going to recommend to start you with. This is the result I think you're going to get from them. So I don't know the products. I'm just making this part up. This cleanser, this toner, I really feel like it's going to hydrate, brighten, and help give a little plumpness, which will help with those lines that you were concerned about. So let's start with that. Do you want to come into the spa? And so that way I can really show you how to use them. So that answer, would you like to come in to pick them up?
You know what? I think I can come in.
Okay. You know what's going to happen? How about, do you have like an extra half an hour to spend with me? I want to give you another little mini treatment. I want to show you how you can incorporate all of it very quickly. And so it won't take a lot of effort for when you're ready for that step. How do you think? That's a
Mm,
tip for me. Sound like a good idea?
it does.
Okay, cool. So here's when I'm available. Let me find out when you are free. Let's schedule that time so we can get this all sorted out. So just kind of wrapping up in this, I had no idea that you were going to give me challenges, right? Like I thought it was just going to be neutral. So that's perfect. But
Mm,
what I really want you to notice too is the intro to the conversation that I started. I've been so looking forward to hearing from you. I wanted to hear about how your skin responded. Like, so pay
mm,
attention. If when you go back and listen to yours versus mine, you're ready to hear that they weren't happy. You're ready to, why can't I think of the word? like the argument, right, that they don't want it. Why
Mm.
you're losing the
Yeah,
word.
already, yeah.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
objections are like, yeah.
Objection, thank you.
objection.
Because of
Yeah.
your sales background, you're ready to overcome the objection, but that
Mhm.
creates an objection today. That
Mm.
creates, people know they're being pushed as soon as they hear that type of language. So when you just ask them questions as though it's already great and that they're allowed to share anything with you. So let's say if I was making up this conversation, it would be, hey, just wanted to check in. This is actually the message I send to my clients. Hey, Cindy, it was so much fun spending time with you again the other day. I just wanted to follow up, check in on your skin. Anything I need to note for next time?
Mm.
Is open to everything, compliments, critiques, questions. It's everything, but it's not
Mhm.
suggesting that there's anything wrong. It's also implying for next time. So
Right.
right there, people know they're going to be sold to. They want to feel like they are wanted to be around, not that they're being sold
Mhm.
to. So you inviting them back in. So the inviting you to say, hey, how about I do this 15-minute complimentary? It could have been a per sale, thing I offered. I am of the belief of I like to give stuff away complimentary rather than discounting it because
Mhm.
people know the value and they will either
Mhm.
tip or appreciate the value. A discount makes them think that's the price you could always charge them. Because if you charge them
Yeah.
at this time, why are you charging them more other times? And it's establishing a little bit of most people want equal stuff happening between relationships. So she could have this subconscious feeling of like she owes me. And now I've shown her a second time of how to use these products. Now that second time, it's like, well, that's not so crazy because this is the second time I'm experiencing it. She goes in
Mhm.
with those products, she experiences great benefits. You might even be able to sell more to her that day. And I'm extending this so long. I'm sorry, but this is such an exciting, I love the consultation and follow-up. Like it's like my passion because of working with the psychology of people and the language that we use to create
Mhm.
what we want and they want too. So let me pause there and see. I don't want to take, I feel like I just took over like 20 minutes.
Love it.
Anything from Maxine or anything, Terry, that you noticed from what I'm sharing, or anybody else even, any feedback or ideas or noticing?
I Heather is spot on. And, and I love how you bring energy into sales. And Terry, you know this, you remember this because as Zig Ziglar says, like sales is like a transfer of energy. It's not really
Mhm.
about, right? So it's that transfer of energy. It's that excitement that you're helping someone with their skin.
Mhm.
So, I might even encourage at your next events, because how many do you have booked now?
You mean for tomorrow's event?
Tomorrow's event,
Um,
how many show
tomorrow
up?
it tomorrow I have 8 women.
You have 8 women already
8.
scheduled. So
Mhm.
what's keeping us from backing up? I love sales too, and I love the psychology aspect. I love sales because the end result is that you're helping someone. It's not
Mhm.
really about the exchange of money. It's
Mhm.
really that like, oh my gosh, they're investing in you. So when
Mhm.
you have them on their table and you're already starting that process,
Mhm.
what's to keep you from inviting them into your spa? Like, where do you live? Are you close by? Oh, my spa is right
Mhm.
here. Here's a $50 coupon that's valid for today, to continue this, especially when you have them hold up the mirror, they see the results, they're
Mhm.
like in that wow factor, right? They're in that wow state. Now
Mhm.
you're like, great, I have a gift for you. I would love to see you and follow up. I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow, but I would love
Mhm.
to, see you for another treatment that's not out in the open, because I'm
Mhm.
assuming that it's like,
Yeah.
out in the
Yeah.
open where you're just in
Mhm.
private in your cozy little lair of a treatment room.
Mhm.
Um, and so just for you, I want to offer this, and it's valid. So, and the reason why you're giving that coupon is for them to help them to take action. That's so it just
Mhm.
helps them to take action. It's no
Mhm.
different if you were going to run an ad or this or that. You are the event is your sales funnel.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
it's a physical sales funnel, right?
Mhm.
So now that you've invited them in, so then when you follow up with the next day and ask all those lovely questions, it's like, okay, either they have it booked, you could schedule it right there. Everyone's got their phones these days. We can get
Mm-hmm.
you right in,
Right.
and we'll apply that $50 coupon and, thank you so much. And then when they come in, you're just going to wow them. So I would love to see of those 8 women, how many you convert tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Okay. All
Convert,
right.
convert
Yes.
tomorrow. This
I'm
is
like,
Yes.
so great. I love that you've put yourself out there in your community and you're doing. You're taking action, so celebrate that. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Terry, you're amazing. You're a hustler, girl. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
so inspired by you right now. I'm like, I need to get out in the community.
so good. Just have more faith in yourself, right? Notice
I-
like what are the gifts that you're bringing, right? How much do you care? Know that you don't need to prove that to them. They will
Mhm.
feel it, but you need to feel it to be able to share that energy with them. So
Mhm.
just tune in. And I, for whatever reason, I heard to ask you, do you know someone named Phyllis?
Um, I do know a Phyllis. Do
Okay.
you?
No, this is just like I just felt that when we started talking that there's a Phyllis that maybe energetically is supporting you. I don't know. Is it somebody that's alive or somebody that passed?
That's my girlfriend's mother's. That's my girlfriend's mother, Miss
Is she
Phyllis. Mm-hmm.
alive or passed?
She's alive.
Okay. So I just felt this supportive energy of Phyllis and I just felt
Wow.
like I asked. So I don't know. Or does Phyllis have an energy that if you like pretended you were Phyllis, you would like own it? Like, why is
Well,
Phyllis
so here's
relevant?
you know what? You know why she's probably relevant because her daughter and I are very close friends.
Okay.
So and my girlfriend, she pours into me. So with positivity, like she's there a lot for me. She was there a lot when my mom passed. So that could be it. You know what I mean?
So I wonder if she is an emotional resource that you didn't realize you could tap into. There's some reason that she's significant, so I'll leave you with figuring what that is.
Wow.
But that came
Wow.
up right before we started talking, and I was like, who is Phyllis? So
Oh, wow. Yep.
yeah, but keep going. And like Maxine said,
Thank
give them
you.
incentive to come in. You've already started the sales process, right? Now we just have to convert them a little bit more, and we're here for you. So
Thank
yeah.
Yeah.
you. Thank you,
Mhm.
ladies. Thank you so much. Maria, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for being here and for sharing. I'm sure your story is going to help so many other people in the group. So you being brave enough to share is going to help so many other people. And I would love, and this is me, I would love for you to keep us updated. So make a post and let us know how it went because your story is going, like I always believe that like there's power in the testimony. So when you
Mm-hmm.
come on the other side of this, like you're going to inspire so many other people from being brave enough to share.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, hearts to all of you. I'm so grateful. Maxine, thank you so much. It was beautiful to share this time with you as well. Share our wisdom, and I could
Yeah.
cry.
I know it was really, see, like we were so funny. We were texting earlier and we're just like, I'm like, you know what? We're two professionals that just want to help, people. It's gonna be perfect. And I didn't really know what to expect, but it was really you that made it. It was you, Terry, that made it. It was Tara that made it. It was Jessica that made it, that got in, and all of you that are on, even if you didn't share, Misty, whatever, doesn't matter. You're here to learn and to participate. And so
Yes.
you're still picking up some things that are going to impact. You're a changed person for being here with us today, and I am too. I know that. So thank you for sharing your hearts.
Yeah, and Terry, just in case, because I think you're on your phone, if in case you can't see the chat, I just saw it briefly that somebody said, 17 years into this, Jessica, 17 years into this, still question myself about what and why I'm doing it in this industry. It's okay to feel this way. You're awesome. So,
Oh,
and
thank
that's
you,
the thing,
Jessica.
new level, new devil. You feel like you're here because you're new. when you level up, you're going to have the same experience again. I mean, that's why it's so crucial or so valuable to have support of people that have been through all the levels, because you know, I know, Terry, you said that right now the finances don't allow it, but manifest that. That's your goal for tomorrow, right? Make those 8 women pay for a coach or pay for support or pay for something. Make those women sign up with you tomorrow. You deserve it. So yeah, you guys are all awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Maria.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Maria. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you, everybody. And there will be a replay. We're gonna put this up on YouTube. It's already, sorry.
It's okay.
It's already pinned to the top of the group.
right.
Okay. All right. Thank you all. Thank you for a great, great session today. And thank you, Heather.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you so
girls.
much. I'll see you guys all in there.
Thanks, everyone.
My daughter said
Appreciate it.
bye.
Bye, cutie.